Hello everyone, my name is Tristan from TheCPAPStore.ca. Today we're going to be looking at sizing, in particular sizing guides when it comes to your CPAP mask. So we get a lot of questions on how to properly size a mask. People ordering masks, what size do I get? And the answer is a little more complicated than it should be because each mask has a different sizing guide. So I have all these sizing guides here. You might be familiar with getting some of these when you order a CPAP mask. Every brand has different types of sizing, and every mask from different brands have different types of sizing too. So it's pretty annoying. What makes things worse is often CPAP companies will send you to the ResMed website to print out your own sizing guide. But if you don't have a printer or you don't know how to print properly, for example, if you print your sizing guide and it's slightly zoomed in, or your printer automatically adds a border around the PDF so it's printing a little bit compressed, then it's completely useless. So what we've done at TheCPAPStore.ca is created a sizing guide for every mask that we sell, or pretty much like 95% of the masks that we sell. And it's a standard sizing guide for each mask. And all you need is a ruler, whether you need a metric or imperial ruler, either one works. And today we're going to be talking about how to use it and then how do you get a correct size mask, okay? Now before we get into that, I just want to talk about headgear for a second. Okay, so when it comes to headgear, you don't want to do anything too big or too small. It's generally, you can kind of base your size of your head based on like hats and baseball caps and stuff like that. Okay, this is what a proper size headgear should look like. If you're finding that you really have to tighten these down for it to fit, then it's probably too large. So you have to get a smaller headgear. And mainly when it comes to headgear sizing, the most complicated ones are these hollow head headgear. So I'll just put this one. I took the headgear off here. So if I put this on, the side tubes should be behind my eyes, obviously in front of my ears, and pretty relaxed and straight up and down in front of my ear here. Okay, some people have a tendency to yank these all the way back. We think a mask is supposed to look like this. That's completely wrong. Okay, so you just want this guy to have enough space where the tube is not interrupted. It's not going like this. There'll be a kink in it. You don't want a kink. Just up and down like that, okay? If it's like here, it's too small. And if you're pulling it back, or you have enough room to pull it back, it's probably too large. Basically, when it comes to the headgear sizes, think about just your own head. If you find that you have a small head, you're always a size small helmet, you're always a size small hat, probably a size small headgear if it comes in that. Same thing if you're larger. Now, when it comes to the mask and the cushion itself, that's where things get a little bit tricky. So a lot of times you'll get these types of things and you have to put your nose on them and try to look in the mirror and see where your nose goes, okay? So the ResMed one looks like this. So we have a small, medium, wide, and small wide here. This is for the N30i. And as you can see, it goes under the nose. So I'm pretty small. I'm a little bit wider. So let's see. Maybe a small wide looks a little better. Probably does. Okay. If you're wider, like for example in the red one here, if your nose is going into the blue, then you're going to be a medium, right? But because my nose is very short, a small wide is a little bit better. Okay, so that's kind of how you use these. Now the problem is you only get these bad boys is if you already order the mask, in which case you've already ordered it. So what's the point? And then, like I said, you can print these out, but if you don't print it out the correct size, then then it's useless again. So today we're going to be talking about our sizing guide. So if you go on our website and you go to a mask, so here we have a P10 mask. Okay, I'll put it up on the screen here. Then we have a little PDF looks like this, and then we can basically use a ruler to measure our nose. So let's go through a sizing guide of the P10. So when it comes to the P10, our sizing guide says that you only realistically need to measure the width of your nose. So let's follow the instructions. To find a ruler, okay, find a mirror. Now I'm going to use the little display on my camera as a mirror. It's probably a little easier if you have a normal mirror, but let's pretend we find them. Face the mirror and put the ruler horizontal to your face. Okay, we have the ruler here. Let's put it horizontal to my face. Measure from outer nostril to outer nostril and then consult our size guide below. Okay, so let's put this right at the tip of our outer nostril. Let's use this finger here to kind of find the edge of that one there. Again, would be a lot easier if I had a normal size mirror. So I'm right at the kind of 1.5 inches for nose length. Let's measure again. Yeah, right about the 1.5. So what size nose am I? 0 to 1.25 is an extra small. Small is 1.25 to 1.5, and medium is 1.5 to 1.75. So because I'm exactly 1.5, I'm kind of in the middle of medium and small. And I can tell you for the P10 mask, it's exactly that. I find the both small and the medium to be pretty much the same comfortability. I do go with the small when it comes to a P10 because I just look at the general overall look at my nose. I have an Asian nose, it's a little smaller, it's not as pointy. So then I go towards a small, and a small is my favorite, right? But you kind of do that when you're kind of in between. Okay, but if say I was a 1.3, then I'd totally be a small. Okay, so that's a P10. Now let's look at other size guides. Let's try the F30 next. Find a ruler, find a mirror, measure perpendicular to your face. Measure from the brow indent to the indent below the lower lip. Okay, so normally for these ones, let me find one, it would look like this, right? But because we don't have this, because we haven't bought the mask yet, we're gonna look in the mirror. I'm gonna feel where the indent is on my brow. There we go. And I'm gonna feel where the indent is on my lip. Okay. And I'm at exactly 3.5 inches. Let's consult our sizing guide. Again, so 3 to 3.5 is a small, and 3.5 to 4 inches is a medium. So again, for me, I'm right in between, and that's generally correct. When it comes to hats and stuff like that, I'm always in between a small and a medium. Now in this case, I would go with the medium because I have a very kind of squishy nose, and when it comes to the F20 mask, I don't want something too small and squishing the nose. I'd rather have something a little oversized going around, and since I'm between a small and a medium, I'd probably go a medium when it comes to that. However, if I did this little thing with a proper mirror, maybe I'm a 3.6 or a 3.2, but just trying to feel it out, give you an example. I don't exactly know, okay? Now let's try up N30i. This is the last one. Okay, so with this one, we need to do two measurements, okay? A width and a length measurement. So let's give this a go. Find a ruler. Place the ruler horizontal on your face. Measure from the outer nostril to outer nostril and note your width measurement. So I think we already did this. Let's measure again. Okay, I'm at 1.5. Who would have thought? Next, we are going to measure from the base of your nose to your tip. This is going to do the length measurement. Now, in this one, it's pretty important that we don't squish the upper lip like that. That'll result in an inaccurate measurement. So just gently place, or you can actually do it like this if you want. Gently place the ruler onto your lip and use your finger and look at the mirror. I don't have a mirror, but we're going to pretend. There we go. So I'm a 0.75. That makes sense because I have a kind of a smaller nose, 0.75, okay? So I'm a 1.5 wide and a 0.75 long. Let's see how that works. So let's look at the width measurement. I'm either a small or a medium with the width measurement. Now, if we look at the length measurement, I'm either a small or a small wide because my nose is 0.75. Now, the only category where I hit both correct measurements would be a small because I'm a medium in width and a small in width, and I am a small wide and a small in length. And therefore, the size that should fit me the best is gonna be a small, okay? And that's how we use our sizing guide. Now, is it accurate for me for an N30 mask? For me personally, when it comes to the N30, a small or a small wide. So it is accurate because it said that I needed a small, right? Now, this is where I want to talk a little bit about just using your own common sense and using your own brain when it comes to this type of stuff. These sizing guides and these sizing guides are somewhat accurate and can give you a general idea of what mask is going to suit you the best. But you also know your head shape and your ear shape and your nose shape better than anyone else. So you kind of have to think about that and use this as a little tool to help you get that extra peace of mind when you do have to pick between sizes, okay? Now, one thing I want to talk about is just the general people that these masks are, I would say, designed for. Now, these companies, such as ResMed, are US-based companies, okay? And I want to touch on kind of the sample size and what I've noticed trying on and reviewing all of these masks, is that a medium mask is made for the most medium guy. And when I say the most medium guy, I'm talking like a 5'9", 5'10", 5'8", middleweight, Caucasian male human being. That's what the medium and the standard is. So always kind of base your mask sizing, if you don't know and you have to choose one, off that guy. If you think, okay, I'm a fairly large-headed, fairly large nose, Caucasian male guy, you are probably 95% of the time gonna be large, right? And for me, I think, okay, what size am I gonna be? I do the little measurement. I'm in between a medium and a small wide sometimes. Sometimes I'm in between a small and a medium, etc., etc. Sometimes I'm just dead center. I need a small wide. For the most part though, after I do the measurement, I think, okay, how do I compare to the typical average American Caucasian man? Okay, and I myself am half Asian, half Caucasian, but I know my nose is a pretty Asian looking nose. It's fairly flat, it has a little bit of a squish to it, and it's not that long as well. So I think about that, and if I look and I see that there's a small offered and a small wide offered, chances are I am a small wide. 95% of the time, if there's a small wide offered, I'm a small wide, because I just know the shape of my nose, I know the density of my nose, and I know basically my face shape is definitely more on the Asian side of things than the Caucasian side of things, which generally, like my little dummy here, has more of a pointed, structured nose, okay? So I don't want to bring, race and ethnicity into these types of videos, but let's be realistic here. If you know that you have a wide nose, then you're probably gonna be a wide or a small wide. And so that concludes the video for you guys. If you wanna use our sizing guide, it's on our website. All you need is a ruler and a mirror. You don't have to print anything out. Just measure your nose, measure your face with the ruler, and then do a little bit of analysis on what you think your just general face shape is, what your nose shape is. Is it wide, is it pointy? Wear a hat, if you're wearing a snapback hat, are you really down, a small head, or you a large head, stuff like that. And then that in combination with our sizing guide will get you the correct size cushion like 80-90% of the time, okay? I hope this helped you. Leave a comment if it was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video as well. It really helps us out. Take care.